Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today from 2012 on the Vintage Collection line, taking a look at Anakin Skywalker from The Phantom Menace, specifically his young Padawan outfit that we saw at the end of episode 1. Photo on the card looks great. Through the blister, of course, you see the figure with the numerous included accessories. On the back side, top right corner, he's number 80 in the line. The rest of that top half gives you a brief write-up talking about celebrating the legendary Star Wars saga and also showing you a fair amount of figures that were also available in the line at the time. Below that, you got 3 other vehicles that were also available. And now taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, overall, just a wonderful looking figure. You have a really good amount of detailing being done both in the costume and in the pants. Sculpting for the face is giving you a fair resemblance of Anakin. His bushy buzz cut might not be coming across the best, but I don't know what you could really do with that on a plastic figure such as this. But you do get the idea that he's got some short hair going on. Painting for it looking great, staying right where it needs to be along the hairline. On the back side, you got that small ponytail sticking out along with the braid on the left side of his head. Painting for the eyes looks very nice also. As for the upper half of the figure, like I said, great detailing in here. You can really make out the fabric detailing of the cloth for the tabards, for the cloth on his sleeves. And paint detailing's pretty good. Overall, it's a basic color for the outer part of that cloth, but then on the undershirt, you got a nice gray line of paint right there along the neck. Of course, you got this flesh tone being done there, which not 100% match to the face, but it's pretty darn close. And then you got a touch of gray for the inner sleeves of that shirt coming out at his wrist. I know it's a small detail, but to me, it's really a nice touch to give this thing some life. Aside from that, just a lot of wrinkles and folds of the fabric being done around the waist. Nice brown painting for the belt. On his right side of his belt, you got a nice brown pouch painted in there. You got a hole to slide in one of the extra lightsabers that he comes with. Good buckle detailing in there also with a touch of silver and gold around the center. And then on the other side of his belt, nice coloring for the capsules that are in there. And then as it rolls along the backside, you're going to notice some nice gold grommets being painted in. So again, just some nice added detailing being done. A little bit lower, you do have some soft goods being placed on this figure. And generally, I'm not too much of a fan of soft goods, but in this case, it's minor. And I think it blends in quite well with the rest of the figure. As you get farther down for the legs, again, just puffy, wrinkled pants being sculpted in. Here also some nice coloring for that. Seems to match up quite well with his costume from the movie. And then getting down to the boots, oh, so close to being perfect here. Great sculpting. You got a touch of detailing along the top and then some wrinkles or some lines of detailing being done around the ankle. And then, unfortunately, they left the hinge joint of that ankle the tan color of the pants. So it just stands out like a sore thumb. Really wish they would have done that in the actual color of the boots. As far as articulation, head's going to swivel all the way around. Touch of movement up and down and just a little bit side to side. Arms are going to raise almost straight up and then do a full rotation. Hinge and swivel at the elbow and only swiveling at the wrists. Full swivel at the waist. And then the legs only come straight out and straight back. At the knee, you got close to a 90-degree bend and then your rotation in there. And then you got hinge and swivel at the ankles. And moving on to accessories, you do get quite a few of them here. First up, you get the helmet that they use for the Jedi training. Nice sculpting to it. Painting is very well done. Nice uses of the white, the gray, and some good black lines placed in throughout there. Overall, I feel like the size of this is a little bit too large. Definitely seems smaller than what we received for the 2 Padawan figures that came out in the Saga Collection line, but not by much. And it still fits well on Anakin's head. Next up, you get the Jedi Training Remote, which I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is the first time that we've received this for a 3 3/4 inch figure. Detailing to it is very nice. Great paint job to it with the reds and the small dots of silver within the center of that. You get various bumps and ridges being sculpted on there, which resembles what the Jedi Training Remote looks like. What I don't like about this is why it's placed on this curved acrylic stand. I like that it's acrylic, gives it the idea of floating, but in my opinion, should be sitting taller, so with it being curved just takes away from that height. Otherwise though, nice flat base for it to stand on, so it's very stable. And then rounding out the accessories are the 2 included lightsabers, which I don't believe he had on his costume at the end of the movie. Obviously, he probably would have, eventually used all of this gear, so it's still nice that it's included. But like I said, 2 lightsabers, one with the blade already extended, and that lightsaber blade is sculpted onto the hilt, not removable, which makes sense since you got one without the lightsaber being extended. But overall sculpting for the one with the blade looks nice. Pretty decent blue color, little bit washed out. You have that little light effect at the base of the blade as it comes out of the hilt. And then decent sculpting for that hilt. Little touch of gold near the end. Fits well in the figure's hands. And then onto the second included lightsaber, which is just the hilt. Very similar sculpting. The obvious difference with this is that you don't have the blade sculpted on there, and in this case you do have a much larger peg at the base of the hilt so that you can slide that onto his waist. So overall, you got some very nice accessories to help round out this figure and definitely give it an added layer of playability. And overall, for me, I think this really is a good looking figure. This would be the second figure that we got of Anakin with this look. I'd say this one's probably leaning more expanded universe, definitely with the included accessories, but it's certainly all very plausible that he would have used all those accessories. Otherwise, the first one we got had him with his cloak, which also wasn't seen on screen either, but we're definitely getting an improved figure with this Vintage Collection release. You've got a great sculpt to the body and a pretty decent head sculpt also. And like I said earlier, I think the minimal use of soft goods on this figure plays very well. So that wraps this one up. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.